Hey, so I thought I'd make a video about the base that I built in the plains biome. This particular biome was chosen because it's where the Yagluth boss icon appeared on the map, and when I sailed down and found it, this was here. So I thought I need a plains base because I need to start farming barley and flax and other things from the plains. And this little spit of land here seemed pretty good. I thought I'd cut across with this moat, because obviously any enemies can't walk down sheer cliffs and can't climb up sheer cliffs, so it seemed like a good place to start. Obviously when I first got here by my slightly longer ship, I'd put down a portal temporarily there. I needed to make it more secure, so I just see me I need to get some more wood. So I didn't bring enough with me, of course. Yeah, so now I've got some wood, put a fire down, because obviously you need a fire. Get it wet. 80% of the time in Valheim is spent being wet, so we're just going to wait till we've pissed ourselves dry. Shoot a bird. Always good to shoot a bird. Always need feathers just when you're wandering around. Take the feathers wherever you can get them. Great believer in picking things up as I go and see them rather than big hunter-gatherer missions, because I always get distracted with something else that I see along the way, so why not just live into it? It's not that I've dug down the moat. I was needing to build up the wall a little bit on the other side just to give me extra protection for everybody else, because they could fall in that and swim across. I needed just to move my workbench. Later on I'll be putting workbenches all around this little area to stop anybody spawning inside my walls, but for now I only had limited wood. Needed to put the workbench around so that I could start raising up the ground with the whatever supply of stone I seem to have brought with me. Let's just speed this up a little bit. Okay, here we are, getting wet again, of course. Decided that the moat that I had started digging myself needed to be punched a little bit wider. No, it just wasn't wide enough, so getting some traction on the ground there and start digging it out a little bit wider. I don't think it actually really matters with the mechanics of the game, as long as it's a deep body of water in the way. No one's going to try and come across there. Actually, I believe it's more the steep angle of the slope it is. They actually do swim around a lot, but the steep angle of the slope stops them going up or down it. That's what I seem to have noticed. Just speed this up again, get through that nice and quickly. And there we are, running all the way through the wall into the water. Let's just go for a little swim. Just getting it so it's deep. There's no walking area just at the edge of my moat. But it soon has become irrelevant as I decided to build a wall around the whole little compound. We'll see that in a bit. Right, I'm off to one of my other strongholds to get some stone that I've got stockpiled. So we'll be back here in a minute. Just collected all of my stone, and yes, it's okay to be over encumbered. Just get as much on you as you can and hobble through that portal. Right, just grab a little bit more wood. Go and chuck down another workbench. Makes life a bit easier, not having to move one around everywhere. You know, just have a couple that overlap the area you need to work in. Makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah. Cool. Cool, workbench down. Get back to it. Raise this wall up. There you go. Just reached the end of my building area. Run back along. Make sure everything's high enough. Maybe a little bit there? No? Maybe a little bit there? level that down. Doesn't really matter. This is just getting to be a bit picky at the moment. I don't know what was I doing? Standing in the gap, yeah. Well done, idiot. There we go. Worked it out eventually. So level all of that off. Once again, trying to just do as much as I can from within the circle of the workbench, but no. And CBA to go and cut wood, so I'm just going to move this one. I'm going to run along, put it down here, and carry on going. Yeah, we get to the edge of the circle, and no, Mr. Bird, you're not sitting on my wall. We didn't need to poison him, but hey, he's dead. Anyway, back to the wall. Didn't know no bird shit on my wall. So yeah, we're at the edge of the circle, and it's like 3 circles wide. That's pretty good going, so we're going to start curving this wall around. Don't need it to be too massive. Take even more forever than it already took. So yep, just move my workbench again. And now we've got to bring up the floor from under the water. It's fairly simple here, but as the water gets deeper it gets a bit trickier. You have to like just grab the edge of the slope of the bit you're stood on. Sometimes you slip in. But it works. We can get the wall up. So once again, moving my workbench. Could have gone and got more wood really in the first place, but I just wanted to build a wall. So I didn't, just kept moving my workbench. It's pretty tiring running around chopping wood, especially at night time when it's cold and you're wet. The wall seems to be coming along nicely. More feathers. Thank you. So you can see here is where I start to curve the wall around in the water. Almost where my little mini harbour starts to form. Just thinking you could take it much further out, so you could raise the ground up, walk yourself out, put some workbenches down, take the wall really far out, and then work your way back so that you had a big body of water within your base. Could probably catch a serpent in there if you're careful. You'd probably get up and also destroy your base, so maybe that's not so advisable. Like, the wolves are meant to live in the mountains, and they purposely came down here to interrupt my build. They even swam. It's like, give up, wolves, come on. Caused a bit of an issue with the old build. I'm not great with the wolf mobs. I can take a few wolves on at a time, but like 6, 7, 8, 9 of them tend not to be able to coordinate my walking and stamina saving. So yeah, pretty sure the wolf killed me. Anyway, next day in Valheim. Might be the next day RL, but we're here. And just evening up the harbour around this edge, the other side, and I'm bringing it across and they're going to meet in the middle. So this way I demonstrate bringing the ground up right from when you can't reach it on the floor. So you have to lean over the edge and yeah, grab the face just underneath your feet pretty much. Oftentimes you will slip into the water. If you're careful though, or lucky even, you can pull the ground up before you get all the way in. Then you can punch the water. and flail around and get back on the rock, pull it up. Once you've got your sort of initial wall, you can then even it out a bit. Again, leaning over, there you go, catch the edge of it and fall in. See, I was actually grabbing some of the dirt up as I was sliding in. Not quite enough to catch myself this time. Good idea when working around water, as I am demonstrating here, quite luckily, to have lots of stamina. I was thinking you probably want to have heavy armour and eat lots of stamina food for building in the plains, because those death mosquitoes, they just turn up out of nowhere. You could be looking in your inventory or anything. The ideal scenario is when you build an area like this and then you build another ring almost the same size again out, so that they don't spawn anywhere near that you'd ever aggro them when you're inside your base or your encampment. Depending on the style of play, you know, if you want to play where death mosquitoes can aggro at any time, it's entirely up to you. But if you want to use the mechanics of the game, make sure that they don't aggro you whilst you're in your home base, compound, encampment, camp, whatever you want to call it. That's entirely up to you. Great, so I've made my harbour meet across the middle. Now what I thought I could do is dig down low and have like a little boat cradle so I could park the longship in it. Turns out this wasn't such a great idea after all, with the changing wave patterns. Just takes it up and down and crashes the boat around. But I tried. And here you can see me trying to dock the boat, park the boat. And of course, as soon as you get in the boat, the weather turns to shit, the waves start splashing around. So the idea with this cradle was that it'd be high enough to stop anybody coming in, but low enough that the boat could sort of sail through it. But that didn't work at all. So when the waves splash around, they go much lower than the wall is. And when they really go in, they go higher than the whole thing is. No bueno, my friend. Can't fault me for trying though. Good try and try again. Eventually, I gave up trying, and I thought, no, I'll just build a little pontoon out the side there. Unnecessary, of course, because boats don't move when you get off them in Valheim, but it's a good little walkway to have. And at a later stage, I had a backup portal in there, just on the pontoon until I'd secured the base a bit better. There we go, pontoon built. Harbour wall, encampment wall, pretty much finished. Getting wet again, fish flying. Off to get some more rock. Don't want this boulder here, get rid of that boulder. Yep, say goodbye to you, thank you my friend. And so I started with the inside floor, I was just going to chisel it out so it was a bit flatter. Because really what I wanted to do here was have a farm. This was my plains farming biome area. So like, just barley, flax, I think they're the two farmable items. So I thought for once I'd make it a bit flatter. My previous farms have just been wherever they lay. Good old death mosquitoes coming in to brighten up the day again. we seem to have skipped some time. Anyway, we can see now we've got a few little fuelings attacking. I'm just trying to get them back to the encampment to make sure that the wall is the correct height. Like, so that, well, at least high enough so that they won't try and come over it with me. And it does seem to be doing the job. And they will just run around 2 feet below me, unable to climb up the slope. Perfect. So, once I've sorted out all my junk, I actually decided for once I was going to terraform the ground, so I was going to get rid of all the grass. Have it nice and neat. Dirt. I mean, to be honest with you, I was going to cultivate the whole area here and build my structure above all the farm stuff. But I later found out that you have to have open space. Like actual direct sunlight on all of your crops, otherwise they won't grow. I think this was just dirt this side. Get rid of all that grass, can't really see what's going on. Can't really see things I've dropped and put down, the lay of the land. So yeah, flatten it all out, get rid of the grass. Right, so with it all decently pathened, sort some rocks out, go get some shit, come back with some more shit. Now it's time to cultivate. Probably could have done this in the daylight, but it doesn't really matter, other than the cold making it take longer. Right, let's cultivate. Cultivate. Yep. 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 All cultivating. Cultivate, cultivate, cultivate. Cool. I've got to cultivate land. Get this barley and flax down as soon as I can. I found this in a little fueling village. First village on this area, actually. I found a bit of barley and a bit of flax. Couldn't believe my luck. That's all that down. Roughly spaced out. Enough space so it can grow. Don't really care about getting it perfect. I mean, looks pretty good there. Wet again. Why are you wet all the time? Anyway. Check it, it's healthy. Yep. Space, cool. As long as we get some to grow, then we can make more and more and more. And it doesn't matter. You lose 1 or 2. Pfft. Save the time just throwing it down there, getting it in the ground. Now the crop's starting to grow, just finish out the rest of the area. Get the ground sorted out, make it look tidy, get rid of these weird red cabbage lettuce things. They can go. I'm sure they're new. Don't seem to do anything. Level up this a bit. It's great, you can either raise the ground, or some places you can just level it up. Doesn't always do exactly what you want though, but you can do a bit. You can save a bit of stone. Now, I definitely wanted to build my base up on stilts so it was completely above the water. And also, like I said, I wanted to use the land underneath it for the farming. So we started putting these log poles out. Right, that's the next day. Done a bit of cultivating, had a bit of fun with some fuelings. There we go, just throwing away the stuff I don't want. Probably end up picking it up again as I run past it. Let's have a quick look as it's starting to get daylight. Nice bit of flat ground, bit of cultivated land, some crops are growing. Got my stilts started. Got a spare turnip, so may as well put that in the ground whilst it's here. World is looking good. Taking a much needed break from all my building in the plains, I thought I'd go and rid the world of some werewolves. Fenring. Happy I was about it. Little did I know that next time I appeared back at my base, my soon-to-be base, I'd had 2 locks spawn inside it, destroying everything. Heart-stricken I was from losing my first ever find of flax and barley. I flailed around madly, unable to save my crops. Or myself, as it would turn out. Check out the next video to find out what happens in the plains. And if you like the video, please like and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated.